So actually, the word multidisciplinary is something that's really important to me. That's the place where I'm at. This is the way I sort of grew up. I spent my childhood and growing up years in many different cities in India. And the consciousness that cultures can be so diverse and yet so rooted in the heart of humans was something that helped me to learn a lot. I also worked, I started working during the early 2000s, so the 90s gave me a lot of inspiration, particularly in the place I was then, Bangalore. A lot of wonderful alternative movements started. Artists were creating work in different spaces, outside, inside. They were doing land art, performance, video, music, everything. This is what inspired me really to turn towards curation, even though I was trained as an artist to begin with. I began working, in fact, in various different spaces and places. So my work actually is an intersection of course, arts and culture, but also heritage, architecture, community practices, public art interactions, workshops, education, of course. And with these as a base, the wonderful interdisciplinarity that comes with so many other fields. And this is the way I have seen my work, and this is the way I grow. So Peter Griffin, in whose program I participated once, coined this whole thing of connecting ideas, dots, and people. And I'm very thankful to him for coining that, because that's what I do. I really, really love to connect people together. Even right now, ting, 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 things are going in my head when I hear all of you speak. And for sure, it'll pop up somewhere and I'll be saying, can you come and participate in this program of mine? So that's the way I work. I love bringing people together, because that sort of collaborative atmosphere really, really changes the spirit of a place or a theme or an idea. And my exhibitions, whether they are in museums or galleries or in a public space, they always involve a large number of people. And this is the way I think, this is the way I've done things. It's been so interesting, in fact, to understand more and more about what art can do in terms of education, of course, but also in terms of talking about difficult things. The visual is somehow so powerful when it comes to sharing, creating dialogues, pushing for contemplation and pushing for change as well. So these are some of the things that I've been working on. I do run 2 large-scale programs which are also united by social media, which is a very useful thing. Goa Familia and Object Speak. I do believe very much in my practice that it's really important to get rid of strict hierarchies, conventions, and yes, to change these stereotypes. So fine art and popular art and folk art, everything resides together in what I do. Whether it's new media, whether it's somebody working on the street, all this form of visual expression or performative expression becomes part of something that I find interesting. So that way, we have even painted a truck here for someone right here in Asagaon, Live Happy, and we spent an enjoyable day just painting this idea of Go and biodiversity on this delivery truck. So to go on, in fact, to the kinds of things that I'm doing right now, it was already mentioned, one of the programs that I really enjoy working on is the Sunaparanta Art Initiator Lab. In a similar way, everything that I have learned over the 20 years that I've been working in this field is something that I want to share. And I do know that our education system sometimes really has a problem. There are many gaps and there are many problem areas, and what I would like to do is pass on everything that I have learned in these 20 years to people who might need it. And so this is a program for creative people to actually build their own tools so that they can address their personal and professional lives better. So I am having several exhibitions going on right now. One of them is at the Museum of Christian Art, and it's always been beautiful to work in spaces that are not in the white cube. In fact, it was lovely to see the slide on Tabiat. That was one of my, curatorial exhibitions that I worked with Ratan Vaswani at CSMVS in Bombay. And I have enjoyed working with Moog. Sharda is here today. We've spent some good times. I do run a project called Goa Familia, and it is all about developing, bringing together family histories. So we gather albums, we talk to people, and oral histories is something that is very, very deeply embedded in everything that I do. I'm currently also working on a virtual museum of Kodava culture, if some of you might be familiar with Coorg. So I'm spending a lot of time in Coorg, building these stories and putting them out there. The museum will be launched soon. Lastly, I sort of want to definitely say that among all the things that I've worked on, sustainable approaches and ideas of the environmental consciousness are something that are very important to me. I continuously work with artists and craftspersons, architects, designers and others who are thinking of new ways to push sustainability into everyday life. And so with that, thank you so much for this platform, Pecha, Kucha, Pooja Bedi, everyone here, and my wonderful assistant, Christina, who helped me put the slides together. Thank you.